YouTube, what's up with you? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Other than that, let's get into it. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and video will be linked in the description down below. Alright.
So it all starts off in 2013 in San Francisco, California. Instead of witnessing a GOAT, Wardell Stephen Curry II's prime, they in their trenches. Everybody on the bridge being crushed and stepped on by this huge kaiju. But somewhere in this much confusion,
Why he looking down on me like that? Gotta grow at least like 30, 100 feet tall. Probably more than that. It's probably like a skyscraper. A couple of skyscraper feet tall.
someone must have called in an advanced UAV, precision airstrike, and a fucking chopper gunner as jets come in shooting at the kaiju, but
Crazy.
flying in shooting it, literally tickling bro with those Nerf bullets, but just gets slapped off the kaiju's tail, killing him. But they eventually take it down. 6 days, 3 cities, and tens of thousands of people later. So the world knew they were an easy lick. The kaijus were going to turn the humans into chum bucket food, so they all put their big brains together. The Asians was definitely carrying, and therefore the Jaeger program was created. And so we fast forward 7 years later, where we see our main character is woken up by a category 3 kaiju. Rayleigh and Yancey get suited up getting their superhero montages, and a few moments later they pull up to see Knifehead. But this is no common foe like the first wave of kaiju. They were only scouts, which is why GIPSY is a little worried, but he knows he has the advantage. Bro can't see straight, out here rocking a Bernie Mac, staring off in the distance.
That's wild, buddy. That is wild stuff.
Distance with the kaiju, like
definitely concerns me a little bit, you know what I mean? But you know, I packed that thing too, so he come around this way.
Tight shit.
Hitting Knifehead with a right and a left from hell, and using a move that Boo is all too familiar with, hitting Knifehead with a double hammer fist. But take a quick look at Knifehead. Him and Starlight got.
Ain't no way he's about to say what I think he's about to say. Bro, ain't no fucking way. Bro, what the fuck? She went to you. She wasn't looking.
At the same surgeon, it's going to take more pain than that. Getting right back up, ramming GIPSY, and in the same dribble, biting their arm. These suits are said to cost more than $100 billion. Ain't shit funny. I don't have the money to cover that. Pushing him off, grabbing him by the head, and starts loading up the plasma cannon, booming Knifehead, killing him. Psych a lot! Cause everybody in the control panel trying to tell them like, hey, he's not dead yet. They start looking around for Knifehead, but these two are clearly trolling. He's 315 feet and 2,000 tons. Nigga, that's like half a rod wave. How can you miss him? Turning around and he jumps out, slapping them, and tries biting GIPSY, but they grab him back. The bites being so hard that they can't even hold on, and that bitch shaking like a bat.
Wild activity, by the way. You seen the wine, like the wine back, like that shit was like line, like that shit was like all the way to like satellite, all the way to the face, you know what I mean, like
bag of Skittles. But GIPSY already knew what time it was, whipping out old reliable, the plasma cannon, trying to boom Knifehead, but he slapped it away, impaling GIPSY through the arm, carrying them. Man, oh man, Knifehead showing him its levels to this shit, and it's hitting these bitches like a prime Chris Breezy as he rips off GIPSY's arm and throws it. But Knifehead said, I took that personally, grabbing GIPSY, ripping his claws through the entire hole. But meanwhile, Rayleigh and Yancey are deliberating on what they were going to do next. Knifehead didn't even let them get the chance, grabbing Yancey, throwing him only God knows where. The sickest part about drifting is that your brains are connected, so Rayleigh knows his brother is dead, and there isn't questioning whether he's getting that Prince, Michael Jackson, and Elvis Presley concert. Might as well bust a move, nigga, you might be next. Getting grabbed and slammed into a mountain, holding GIPSY, still impaling him through the torso this time, pinning him against the mountain. Oh my god, this shit is worse than the ending to Game of Thrones. Straight little bro in him. GIPSY pulls out the plasma cannon again, and Knifehead said it's time to feast, biting chunks out the armor, but them shits are not budging at all. Got me over here questioning, who the fuck built these suits? Odin himself? Knifehead pushes GIPSY against the mountain, still biting through straight metal as the plasma cannon explosion goes off. The niggas in a control panel like, oh.
You know you did.
So Gypsy Danger shows up washed on land, and to everybody's surprise, Rayleigh didn't get sent to the infamous Michael Jackson concert. Bro walked out that big ass kaiju attack with only a couple scratches. Who the fuck is this nigga, Steve Rogers? So 5 years later, and the world is in shambles, because here's the thing, the kaijus are learning the humans' defenses and adapting. What the fuck? But I don't even know why this is a shocker. Humanity is all about evolving. Why are we surprised Caitlin Clark is 3rd all time with only 41 games played? She's playing against straight nail techs and wannabe IG models. This is a mismatch. So Pentecost got to recruiting, bringing back the only man to have single-handedly taken down a kaiju, Rayleigh Beckett.
Much later.
So Otachi and Leatherback done pulled up to Earth on timing, and the humans sent out Crimson Typhoon, Chemo Alpha, and Striker to blow up the entrance so no more kaijus can come through. Meanwhile, Gypsy Danger gets benched, leaving out your 2 best pilots to send in straight food. Oh yeah, the Marshal gotta be first team all CTE. This ain't even bullying, this is an astute observation. Crimson Typhoon pulls up first to the Pacific, but bro didn't even peep the flank, just starts looking around, getting snuck up on by Otachi, turning around, smacking them with her tail. They came out here thinking she was sweet. If this was a dog or a cat, then maybe they have a chance.
That's gotta be racist, there's no way.
Getting sent flying right back into the water. They get back up trying to shake that CTE off. Antonio Brown can't relate. Meanwhile, Otachi in the back calling them pussy. So they said,
shut the fuck up, nigga, and watch this goddamn combo.
Pulling out mad razor blades, getting ready to turn Otachi into a dish some niggas in Thailand probably thirsting over, as Otachi jumps in but gets sliced a couple times in the torso. But that don't work. They got the hard skin of Kevin Durant. It's gonna take more cuts than that. Getting his right arm grabbed and broken, and the left trying to fly up and cheese that higher ground vantage, coming down, throwing Otachi back into the water, back to where she came from. But what she didn't know was that the human set the triple team, getting up, turning around, seeing Cherno Alpha, and was like,
Oh shit.
Here we go again.
running in, doing an elbow drop right on her head and put her into a noogie, rocking her shit. Straight Ike and Tina work right here. They asking him why he hitting a girl, and he's like,
she's tougher than she looks.
hitting her with a right and another right. But she read the scouting report, like defenders keeping their hands down while guarding Westbrook. Seeing Cherno load up another double fist, slapping the hell out of them with her tail, sending them flying back into the water. The cameraman couldn't bear to see these two get cooked like this, so they immediately zoom into Striker, who was just in the back watching like,
I thought you were bad.
That's crazy.
You ain't bad. You ain't nothing.
But here's the thing, Striker itching to get in a fight, but they the last line of defense like Draymond Green. We getting this dub by any means possible, stumping on niggas included. So they have to stand their ground. And we cut back to Crimson and Cherno in a 2v1. But little did I know, this was a mismatch for them. Otachi hits them with her tail, grabbing them by the torso, ripping into the pot, killing one of them, ripping it out, and crushing the other 2 in her hand. This is crazy, I cannot lie, but y'all had a good run, not a great one. Turning her attention back to Cherno. They in there yelling to control panel that Typhoon is down and are gonna say, let's get this bastard. Shoo, they way better than me. I'm hitting the Marshal with that.
Yeah, I'm out.
They get ready to go in, but that didn't last long, like Jeremy Lin's career, a good 2 seconds, as Otachi spit some type of acid at them, breaking down their Jaeger in seconds. So Striker said, fuck all that, I'm not Jason Tatum, trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho. But when we cut back, it's looking like it ain't finna be anything to save, my boy. Getting their arm grabbed and chewed on, but even when you think it can't get worse, like a French Montana feature, Leatherback pulls up this time, jumping out the water like a monkey, grabbing their head, and Otachi rips off their arm. They trying to shake him off to get bro to let go, but
Crazy edit.
Leatherback is still on high ground, holding on. He's used to constantly being surrounded by ass situations and sticking through. He must be a Knicks fan. Smashing them over the head, mad hard, got water leaking into the hole, and rips out the escape pods to trap them in there. And can I please ask, who in their right mind gave these niggas super intelligence? I know Floyd Mayweather somewhere tight right now, writing a 2-word essay on how this stuff is not fair. Leatherback bonks them in the head again and does the most diabolical junk I've ever seen, pushing them underneath the water, drowning them. But he really said, nah.
That's not enough.
Pulling them out, pushing them back down under like Patrick did to SpongeBob when he was trying to save him. Eventually grabbing the Jaeger, twisting it, making it explode, killing both of them. So now we see that these kaijus did not come here to play fair. The camera immediately pans to Otachi pulling up on Striker, rocking her, getting up, grabbing her by the head, pummeling her. I know Unc was a demon in Street Fighter back in the day. Look at him, hitting her with straight rights, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee face eye. He hits her with the right, and while she's dazed, the uppercut, dropping her. Striker trying to tell her,
stay down. Final warning.
but she just keeps getting back up. She's trying her hardest not to go back to her enslavers, like
I lost.
getting held and hit with the right, sending her flying back into the water. And she gets up again, getting hit with the elbow, grabbing her, picking her up, and throwing her across the Pacific. But man, the humans must have hired Floyd Mayweather, a literate ass, to read the scouting report, because they done came out with some shit we ain't never seen before. Striker starts pulling out their missiles. Look at them, they in there geeked. Thought they won the battle, but Leatherback hit them with that.
Nigga, did I just catch you having fun?
Getting into their Adrian Brody, smelling their next move from a mile away, using his EMP charge to cut that bullshit out, shutting not only the Jaeger down, but most of the control panel too. The Marshal knew they were cooked too, sent them boys on a farewell tour. But here's the thing, every single Jaeger is digital, meaning that like music is the coil array, Leatherback is their kryptonite, all besides GIPSY. So meanwhile they're deliberating on whether they want to send these two out for real. Otachi roaming the streets of Hong Kong, destroying everything, sending out a citywide panic. We cut back to Leatherback pressing the Striker pilots, about to send them back to the lobby screen, when out of nowhere, the GOAT, GIPSY Danger, shows up, or farming, dropping down a face off with these lowly beings. They came here to prove one thing, that in this Jaeger shit, it ain't even close. Bro got on the news.
Tight shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, I pull up and show them, you know what I mean? I have to show them how much aura we live. Can we fake like I didn't say that? I meant to say how much aura we have. I don't know where we lived Alright.
Earlier talking about how he got a new record and is now cheerleading on the sideline. His fans ripping all of his posters down as we speak. Man, you a fraud. Leatherback starts off by trying to tackle GIPSY, but swings his body to the side, jumping on Leatherback, using his EMP device to ride him like a bull. This is type disrespectful. Got bro on the sideline hating. I could ride that thing way better than you.
What?
Nigga, you gay.
GIPSY rips the EMP the hell up out of here, so now Leatherback is tight, running in, tackling GIPSY, hitting them with the
Hug me, brother!
bear hugging them, spinning, treating them like a discus, and chucking them mad far across the highway, killing at least 30 people off impact alone, using all the containers to break their fall, getting back up. Leatherback pulls up quick though, ready to finish them off, coming up out the water, but my son got his whole belly out. Ugh. My man, put that thing away. There's like children here. He roars at them, telling them to stop running and to come here and face me. So GIPSY Danger is like, okay. As Leatherback runs in and GIPSY charges in too, hitting a jump that could only rival the crackhead Michael Jordan. Coming down, letting go a nasty left hand hammer fist, grabbing little bro by the head, rocking his shit, and then an uppercut. GIPSY Danger on his bully though, acting like every C-list rapper, pressing him for not checking into his hood, using the elbow rocket to make his punch even harder, hitting Leatherback with another right, sending bro flying back. But he was like, oh, y'all want to see weapons? Well, hold this. Grabbing a crane, hitting GIPSY with it, but those shits like Drake punches look like they felt good as hell. Getting hit with a backhand, sending GIPSY back down to the ground. But this stuff really funny to me, because GIPSY gets back up, grabbing a handful of metal containers, getting up, hitting bro with a mean right, stealing a page out of the Hulk's book. No, I'm not talking about his inability to get bitches and getting his salad tossed by Thanos. I'm talking about his catchphrase. Hitting Leatherback with a thunderclap with the containers, got this chop monster tweaking out for a literal second. Turns out he ate that shit. So GIPSY Danger hits him with the left, knocking him back down. But this is when bro just started doing stuff, because on the way down he grabs a post, eating it.
Look like he had a belly. The word out on Zion Williamson is that he'll eat the table. I'm quoting.
So Gypsy knows it's time to put a stop to bro. Grabbing bro, putting him in a full Nelson. Not gonna lie, this is embarrassing. No way he lets word get back to his home that this happened to him.
I was never in a full Nelson though.
What's going
a
on
full
tonight?
Nelson never happened.
Okay.
This motherfucker is a fucking liar. He never had me in a full Nelson.
But he swings his body to the side again, allowing him to break free.
Crazy.
He starts pressing Gypsy too, stomping and roaring in his face, trying to scare bro. But Gypsy's like, we seen you on Twitter talking about let the games begin. Nigga think he Jigsaw. Running in, getting pushed back, but they whip out the plasma cannon, dumping mad beams into him to try and send him to a D1 college athlete's career after messing with Becky. The Shadow Realm. But come on, man, that's too easy. Getting pushed through the bridge, but they shoot him 3 more times, blasting his entire arm off. Leatherback refuses to go out like Soulja Boy though. He want that farewell tour, not that here nigga damn. Grabbing their back, still taking the beams, but it happens. They shoot him one more time, throwing him away like he's absolutely nothing. The nigga's in a control panel trying to tell him that Leatherback is dead, but he's like, nah.
Job's not finished.
Turning around, dumping 4 more bullets into him, killing him. But Gypsy looks off into the distance, seeing a common day in Chicago, wondering what's going on over there. And so let me break this down for y'all. Y'all see this guy right here? This is Dr. Newton, a scientist and kaiju dick rider, and he drifted with a dead kaiju to find out all the things that basically make them tick, but in doing so became a beacon for all kaijus. So Otachi done pulled up, stomping a hole into the ground and sticks his tongue in there trying to lick bro. Ew. Otachi turns around to see Gypsy Danger pulling up next with the whole entire ship.
Here we go.
Gypsy picks up the ship, loading it up, looking like they're about to hit some shit out the park, rocking her in her face and a backhand straight into the building. But they realize they're gonna have to hit her harder than that. She can take a punch. Shout out Tina Turner, hitting her with the right with the ship and another left, slapping a snot out of her. But she just won't stay down. Bet she can't feel any of this. They must have sprinkled some of that Balder DNA in her, using her tail to grab the ship, throwing it mad far, eventually landing between 2 buildings. We cut back and Otachi hits Gypsy with her tail, sending them flying back to where they started from. But Otachi is like, they ain't even worth it for real, walking away to go cause more violence. But I was wrong. She just wanted to play hide and go seek as Gypsy stops looking around for Otachi, and she comes out crashing through the building, grabbing Gypsy by the head, slamming him against the building, but gets hit with the right and a left. But I don't know what happened. Shorty went from Rihanna to Goku, weaving a right, got Gypsy entire hand going through the building. I can tell you right now, nobody's getting their taxes done this year. Otachi grabs Gypsy, slamming them into the same building. Got mad explosions going off, turning around, pushing them through another building. And this stuff right here will keep even Chip Skylark.
I just want to say, what do you say about like what do you say to your assurance? The kaiju smashed my car. The kaiju went through my house. The boss, I can't come in. You know, kaiju going crazy around my city. Like, how you should.
Dumbass from cracking a smile as the camera cuts to the other side, seeing Gypsy go back first into the ground. But Otachi still got more punishing to deal out, trying to use the acid she used earlier, but that spamming shit don't work, weaving out the way as the entire side of the building starts disintegrating. Gypsy turns around looking at what she just did like,
this nigga is crazy.
Otachi starts roaring, but Gypsy is like, shut up, bitch, sticking their entire fist in her mouth, got her deep throat and shit. But Otachi was tired of being treated like a hoe. Fuck, I look like Cassie, using her tail to wrap around the arm, trying to claw their entire face off. So Rayleigh tells her he'll control the arm and she can freeze the tail, which she does, using coolant, spraying the tail, freezing it and breaking it off. But Gypsy said,
I'm not finished.
Grabbing Otachi by the head, sticking his hand in her mouth again and ripping her entire tongue out. But Otachi started disrespecting them, doing that Allen Iverson to Tyronn Lue, jumping up, grabbing them with his feet, ripping all types of computer chips out of them, stumping them into the ground and then stepping on them, bringing out wings. But it doesn't get any better as she picks them up with her feet, flying away into the air. And while she's up there, Otachi just starts moving mad petty, slamming them on top of the building and then again, eventually flying away into outer space. These two was on the bench watching the other teams talking about, I'm ready, I'm ready.
No, you ain't.
as they get higher and higher, but we all seen Iron Man 1. There's no way out of this one. As they start losing oxygen, so they whip out the sword, cutting Otachi's wing off in slow motion. But there's still a landing problem going on. They come crashing down like an asteroid onto Earth, but uses their nuclear reactor to break their fall, doing a rod wave cannonball in the middle of a baseball field. Somehow they both survived though, even though they hit the
oh shit. I was about to die.
So Rayleigh and Mako get back to base, and everybody laughing and celebrating, but ain't shit funny, like an Amy Schumer comedy set, because this Kaiju vs. Jaeger war is still not over. So a few moments later, 2 more Kaiju show up on the breach. We got Stryker on standby with a race swap.
You know, black people. No.
And we got Gypsy Danger. But here's the thing, the people in the control panel giving out elite callouts, because not only did they send a triple team on the humans, they getting hit with that 3-1 LeBron meme, because they done sent out a category 5 Kaiju to come and end their run. SLATTERN flies out the breach, letting out a giant roar, letting them know that down here is his territory. They a little boy to him. Stryker pulls out the double sword, squaring up with SLATTERN. I respect it. Takes a real man to stand on business, even when all your homies dropping like flies. Meanwhile, we see Gypsy Danger giving out elite callouts to Stryker, but they should have been minding their own business. Didn't even peep the flank, getting snuck up on, but grabs Gunner by the head, getting into his Derek White bag, headbutting the shit out of Gunner mad times. Jumping up and puts bro into a noogie, slamming him to the ground, got him eating straight dirt. The director must have knew this was embarrassing though, because we instantly cut to Gypsy standing over Gunner like,
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
When out of nowhere, Raiju comes through, biting off their entire arm in one bite. Got them doing a handsome squidward turn mid-air, but Raiju said,
I think we ain't doing it.
Biting Gypsy's leg, ripping a chunk of it out, but Gypsy refuses to be more and more relatable to Mojo Jojo, just sitting there getting beat on, whipping out the sword, impaling Gunner in the head, and while he's trying to swim away, said, nah.
That's not enough.
Grabbing him by the head, pushing his face into the fire, trying to make him look like he brought shame to the Fire Nation, burning half of his face off, but gets pushed away. Meanwhile, the guys in the control panel trying to tell them that Raiju is on their heels, coming in quick, but Gypsy like, anywho, standing their ground, pushing the sword up, cutting from his mouth into his tail, killing him. So that's 1 down and 2 more to go. We cut back to SLATTERN versus Stryker, spinning his tail mad fast, hitting him in the chest, sending him flying back, eventually crashing into a rock. They start deliberating on what they're going to do next, but SLATTERN done already pulled up on time and tackling them into a rock all the way at the bottom of the ocean. They are entirely out of their element right now, fighting down here. I know they thinking,
crazy word.
I will beat your motherfucking ass,
but it just continues. They get dragged across the sea floor, flips over and gets slapped behind, but SLATTERN gets cut too. But that ain't no problem. These boys easy pickings. As SLATTERN bites their arm, but they push him off, whipping out the blade, stabbing him in the armpit on both sides, throwing him away. Brody knew he was cooked too, started yelling out like a pussy, help me, this nigga hacking. Bro just straight up lying. He probably told them Stryker was on 1 HP too, but Stryker already knew what time it was. They on they Goku shit, but this is not Dragon Ball. Ain't no bringing y'all back. Gunner and SLATTERN going to opposite sides, swimming in, surrounding them like a IG thought. They start swimming in mad fast, trying to rip Stryker apart, but that's when it happens. They both press the button, sending off the nuke, destroying them both. The explosion being so strong that it replayed 3 different times. So now it's left to the lone Jaeger to save the world. Gypsy dragged the body of Raiju, limping towards the bridge, but out of nowhere, SLATTERN shows up, facing off in front of them. Bro, what the fuck? We in 4K footage just seen them boom, bro. You niggas are not Jason Voorhees, please stay down. But Gypsy is like, forget it, using their LeBron type vertical to jump up to punch SLATTERN, pushing it back and impaling it in the spine with their sword, as they both free fall into the bridge. But while they're free falling, SLATTERN is not with the BS, started handing out BTA, belt to ass, whipping them in the back, eventually ripping out Mako's oxygen supply. So Rayleigh was like, oh, you wanna play dirty? I can too. Shout out Draymond Green. Rayleigh hugs bro, using his thruster to burn his entire chest, eventually burning a hole in SLATTERN's body, killing him. Nobody in this universe has so much as seen a category 5 kaiju, let alone kill it and live to tell the tale. So when I seen this movie, I was like,
that's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Gypsy uses SLATTERN's body to fly into the bridge and waste no time looking at the alien race who were trying to colonize Earth and was like,
There's no way out of this one.
letting go a gigantic boom, destroying the entire bridge, killing everything and everyone in there, successfully saving the world. Shit really crazy. This movie was a 10 out of 10. Too bad they didn't make a part 2.
Shit. Hope you enjoyed the video. The video will be linked in the description down below. And hit the like button if you did enjoy it. Other than that, God bless you. Be safe. Peace out.